بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Now, there are some of the essential files or the things what we are going to do is because the engineers should be aware of the tools what are used for documentation. Common tools, what we see, the word processing, you can use the word files, or basically you can just say the word file, the WinWord or the Microsoft Word documentations. You can just take any of these documentations here. And likewise, you do have some Excel. Excel is another thing, spreadsheets. And then diagrams. For the diagrams, we'll be using Visio to define the documentations. And then one more thing, currently we use the AI assistant, which is also an important tool which we need to know. Again, that's what we are going to see. Let me just quickly give an idea about these tools to start with. The first one, we have the Word. Microsoft Word is the common document what we use, Microsoft Word, or you can use the Google Docs. If the company is looking out for any online documentation where the documents should be available, we can also use the Google Docs where we can use them for creating any kind of documentations. Let me just quickly show you a sample Google Doc documentation. So if you just click on the Google Docs, you will find this Google Docs where you can sign in with your Gmail account and you can have a different documentations. If you go back, these are the documentations you can just add. Now you can have this documentations online where you can create a new document and share the link with the teams. And now all the team members will have the access to the same document. So this is more like a Word where you can write down or type down the things, just like you actually do it in the Microsoft Word. So the only difference is the Microsoft Word is an offline document. Again, you can use this Word documents you can upload to any common drive to make any changes. If your team is integrated, you can use Microsoft Teams and other tools to integrate these Microsoft documents as well. So either you can use the Microsoft based documentations or the Google documentations. Same way you can have those the sheets as well. Similar way the Excel sheets also available on the Google Doc. Either we can use the normal Microsoft Excel sheets or the Google Sheets. Now this is the place where you actually keep all. So let me just complete this word, the word processing tool. So all the documents like SOPs or HLDs or LLD summaries or any kind of logs, these all will be using this tool. So we'll be using this tool and we have to make sure that we keep the proper alignment like headings. Again, I'll have a separate session on how to there's some basic tools to use inside that. So here I'm just going to walk through with that. The heading, bullet points, keeping some bullet points and adding some page numbers. These are some of the things we need to, which is going to make your document neat. And also when you are doing this, you generally keep the versions. You have the version details. Let's say I'm going to document HLD. Maybe this is like V1.0. And whenever you make any changes, you can just add the file names. And then finally, you can say final. The naming is also important because it becomes really difficult for you to figure out what is the latest and updated documentations. So every time you do many changes, you generally want to keep it as a new version instead of just overwriting the same, because in case if there is anything, you can compare always with the previous version. So naming is also very important while you do this. Now the next thing, we also have something like spreadsheets, the Excel sheets or Google Sheets. And this is a place where you keep all the IP addressing plan, like what is the IPs assigned to server, to switch, to users, or to Active Directory server, or anything it can be. What is the planning I'm using, which subnet is used for which department, which server is getting what IP, including the VLAN information, the VLAN mapping like VLAN 10 allocated to marketing department using 192.168.1.subnet, like that. And also, this is a place where you also keep the inventory of inventory details. Okay, so while you're doing this, again, as I said, we'll see this how to document it bit different in a different session. Now, here to maintain a proper documentation, you generally use different color codes, add some filters. We'll see the filters, what they are, and also adding some comments for clarity. These are the additional things what you have to do to make your documentation much clearer, especially the technical data you maintain here. Now, these spreadsheets, again, as I said, it will be useful for other things, like we can also track the configurations or the user account list, or device information, or switch port mapping. You can also keep that sheet in that. Now, the other tools we use, we have something like diagramming. Now, the network diagrams are important because the network diagrams are nothing but the topologies what you are going to use, and the VLAN configuration, the VLAN information, which VLAN on which side. If you have a specific routing, WAN connection, we also need to have a routing path. Or if there's any firewall, you add that firewall, and then firewall with specific zones. We add all these details into that. Okay. So what we are going to do is, with this diagramming, this will make you to visualize the network. You're going to prepare a diagram which is going to visually show you how the connections are done and explain the design clearly with the clients. Okay, so even if some new engineers, or if you're escalating the task to any new engineer, or some part of the configurations to be done by another engineer, it becomes easy and clear to understand. Now, again, while you're doing this, there are some best practices, like keep the consistent symbols. Like all the Cisco routers, we keep one symbol, a Palo Alto firewall, another symbol, and then you have, so like that, we can keep a specific symbol for easy identification. And also the labeling, because you have multiple routers, you need to be more specific, writing down the exact name of the device very clearly. Labeling is also important. Okay. So at the back end, we use the Microsoft Visio or Draw.io. There are different tools. Microsoft Visio is one of the commonly used diagram tool. Now, the another thing, as per the current scenarios, we'll be using the AI assistants. Now, AI tools plays an important role in today's scenarios, especially if you want to improve the writing and the formatting. Okay. And of course, AI is not going to replace the thinking or troubleshooting what you do. But again, at the back end, it is going to help you to make a proper or rewrite many things. Okay. At the back end, you are the one who will be thinking out. But when you are writing the same thing in the documentation, whether in the Word or anywhere, like writing the emails, so you will be responsible for writing the emails. We'll be using these AI assistance tools to rewrite your emails in a more professional tone. And also, if you have a daily reports to write, generally we have the daily reports of the things what we did. Instead of just saying orally or with a simple text, we can rewrite that in a more detailed, in a more professional way. Or the meeting notes, you can define what are the meeting notes. And also you can use these AI tools to use the templates, checklist, and you can always review. Additionally, you will be using them in the troubleshooting, or finding or search engines. We can also use the search engines, figuring out the solution. There are many ways we will be using, especially in the advanced section. I'll be covering how you can use these AI assistants to troubleshoot the issues in case if we face around. So these are the four main important tools we need to understand based on the project. So this way, any engineer, whenever start maintaining one specific folder for project, and you keep all those files in a subfolder. So it's important that you also keep all in one place in a main folder along with specific subfolders to keep all the documentation of one particular client in one single place.